Hello, 575A students. I am making this short video for you regarding discipline and finishing your behavior management policy for classes. So the first thing to do is to think about discipline strategies. So today I'm going to go over these two articles, and I would like you to and just highlight a few things. And then I'd like you to finish reading the rest of these. And as you see, then you're going to be preparing for your assignment. That's your behavior management policy. Let's talk a little bit about what the policy is going to be. So what we are thinking of doing is that you are writing a policy that will go eventually in a parent handbook regarding what you believe is your policy to help children behave under your care. So what your questions you're asking yourself that should be in your policy are, what is the response that you're going to create or do that increases positive behaviors? What is your response that's going to decrease negative behaviors? You might want to point out that your discipline is related to what you're wanting to teach the children. So these are some small samples as well of what a behavior management plan could look like. So your assignment is going to be in 1 to 2 paragraphs, typed and put into the text box here. You are going to need to have a reinforcement. If you're going to use reinforcement, your strategy. So, and you're going to clearly state what is your large goal. So in that, let me show you first discipline. So this is one of our reading assignments right here. And anything from here is a great thing to put into your behavior management policy related to what your belief system is. So we are going to help the children regulate themselves, but how do we do that? We do that by creating an environment that has the appropriate, perhaps, boundaries, support, loving relationships, and routines that have create acceptable behavior patterns. So those are all pieces that seem good for your behavior management policy. Now, also, if you're looking at, these are some great examples. So we're going to respond flexibly to an infant's needs if we're dealing with newborns. So again, what age category are you thinking of for your time? Infants and toddlers, we're definitely using limitations. We're going to create a protective, safe environment that lowers behavior challenges or opportunities for the adults to need to say no or curtail the environment. Early childhood, you're going to have some individualized strategies for each of the children to create behavior patterns for them to help them succeed. School age is responsibility for their own self-control. And then we're going to foster in adolescence that autonomy. So these are all proactive ways. And here's actually some nice positive parenting on the CDC website as well. Now, we have a PDF here as well that is in your readings when you click on that link for the NAEYC. And which the NAEYC is the National Association for the Education of Young Children. And what you are looking at is positive ways to set those limits. So in your behavior plan, any of these bolded pieces would be great to have that in your behavior management plan. Part of your plan is to treat children with respect and how you would want to be treated. And that's one of the rules within your childcare. You also could help the children feel like we talked about, boundaries, realistic limits for behavior, stuff that's age appropriate. We're going to help them all manage their emotions with self-regulation, and there's some interesting piece about that in there and what that looks like. So in your assignment states that what are you going to do? These all are things that are going to increase those positive behaviors. And then what are you going to do to decrease those? And some of those will decrease that negative behavior too. But we're wanting to look in here and what are some pieces to decrease the negative behavior. Like what will happen if there is biting, tantruming. So you're going to then, perhaps part of you has a quiet area for individuals to like calm down. It depends upon, we're working on what age category are you thinking of. Partnering with the family. So perhaps part of your behavior management plan is communicating with the family regularly about the challenges that and successes of the child, so that there's consistency at home as well as at the daycare. So any of those pieces, any of these in bold are going to be helpful for you in terms of being able to create that behavior management policy for you. So what I would like you to do then is to think of those questions, create your behavior management policy. It's going to be 1 to 2 paragraphs, and then submit to me. I look forward to reading all about your pieces. So you're going to indicate at least one example of developmentally appropriate behavior in your in your piece. It's nice, like what is going to happen if you have a toddler and they're biting? What is going to happen if a child like hits another child? What's going to happen if if a child runs somewhere? So you're going to indicate one developmentally appropriate behavior and what you are going to do to try to decrease that. So then you click on your text box, and then you can type right in there. My recommendation as well is that you save it for yourself. And that is it. I hope that this helps you, and I look forward to reading your assignments.